Hello, everybody. Hope you enjoyed a little break from only two of us and get something interesting from our guests. The more will come. But for now, hello. In another episode of Cardamom and Chili. Heike. Hello, Heike.
Hello. You have your sexy voice on today?
Mm. Yeah, I've learned, I think that how many episodes, whatever we are on number right now, because we keep losing track. I'm getting the sexy voice vibe. Yeah. I mean, the force maybe stay with me forever.
It has never left you and it was always with you. And we are on episode 8 already. That's amazing.
We are. So what is our topic today then?
We thought we would bring to you another perspective today, dear listeners. And the perspective is that we change from the ideal client to your ideal supplier. This was sparked actually by our wonderful podcast episode that we had with Tom Cleary, where he said something about Vera. And Vera first said something about fluffy, pink, glittery unicorn thingy or girl. And which is just hilarious because I know Vera and it's oh my God, I want to see that one day. So the video you're going to make, I need to see that.
Yeah, I think that I shoot myself in the foot with that declaration, public declaration, and I've been told a few times already that there's certain people really looking forward to see it because that it's so not like me. So,
but hey, what do you think when you do it when you're 80? That would be even more hilarious, and you have quite some decades preparation until this point.
Just don't go there. Don't go there. Go back to suppliers. Go back to suppliers.
The suppliers. What we mean by this is that Tom had mentioned that he was at a wedding and there was one of those overflowing, energetic photographers who wanted people to do things. And he and a group of people fled because Tom is an introvert, like we are as well, as everyone knows us now, and so many more. And the energy that someone brings towards us is what either makes us say hell yeah to them or hell no, and is making us to flee from them. Vera is one of those photographers who is very calm and reassuring and provides a safe space. And Tom said that he would basically immediately go to her because she has the right energy. And this is what we want to talk or explore today about not finding your ideal client, but your ideal supplier.
Mm-hmm. I believe that we forget because we so focused on finding our ideal client, finding the voice to speak to them. We as a business owners, of course, that we forget that every single of us, it's also customer for someone. And if we will examine how we look or how we search for suppliers, who we choose, will be quite interesting indicator also in our life because we tend to forget the other side. We all buying stuff, hiring people. So what is your take on it? How you choose your suppliers?
For me, it's very much as I'm very intuition based, or I operate very intuition based. I look at someone, speak with someone, or look at their website, and then I immediately know if they vibe with me or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then I investigate further. So my intuition already said, yeah, come on, but my conscious mind needs to go and make sure that it's the right type, or make sure as much as possible. I need people, because I am who I am, who are on a wavelength with me, who understand intuition, who understand emotion, who understand the way how positivity can work in life and people who are empowering as well. It's a very, as I like to say, spongy, squishy thing to explain, because it is emotion based, it is intuition based, that I choose what I choose or whom I choose.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to resonate with my values. And I have, sure, when I started out with my business, which is now, wow, nearly exactly 3 years ago.
Here we go. Nearly exactly. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just chose people by what they offered, not who they are. And
Mm-hmm.
it's exactly the same as we do our ideal clients. When you really submit to your core values and look for the ideal clients who vibe with you, who fulfill your core values as well.
Mm-hmm.
That does not mean that you use them to make yourself happy. That's always a bad thing,
Mm-hmm.
using others to make you happy. But when you are aligned with the core values, the relationship that you can build with your supplier and the client is just amazing. It just floats. You have a great communication by default.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I seek, what I need. And I very much resonate with people who display themselves in the way that they understand emotions and how they affect us.
Mm-hmm.
I am not the one who would go for statistics. You know, those web designers or marketing people who only throw statistics at you. That's like something, no. Everyone can have numbers. Everyone can fake numbers. I need to have an emotional connection. What is the emotional connection there? I don't need numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want numbers. Statistics are fine, yes, but they also bear, especially with the marketing suppliers,
Mm-hmm.
when you only focus on the statistics, when they go down because LinkedIn decided to change the algorithm, you will feel bad. When you focus only on the numbers, that does not mean that you attract the right people, that you speak to the right people, that you build a fan base, that you build a supporter base of people who love your content.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very hard lesson to learn as well for me, and still is, because I need to force myself right now to not look at the numbers of my posts on LinkedIn, because it doesn't say anything whatsoever. I need to train my brain to listen to what the people around me say about me, to me, talk about me to others. And that is what counts. Numbers are just numbers.
Mm-hmm. True. It's quite interesting that, from all you said, and you said that out loud, that is based on emotions,
Mhm.
your choice of your supplier and who you want to work with, who you want to give your energy and money. Some can tell that energy and money are the same thing.
Yep.
It's not based on the offering, it's not based on price.
No.
It's quite interesting. And I believe every single person operates like that. The thing is, you okay, you. She's not agree with me. She's kind of she's gonna back. I'm telling you, she will back with something interesting. Okay, so hear me out. I think that it does because you said and you describe your supplier, but it's pretty much similar definition if you would describe your customer. So your core value are about emotions, about connections, cooperation, working together and creating something.
Mhm.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
So your ideal client's gonna be in line with that one, and your
Yep.
supplier gonna be in line with that
Yeah.
as well. So going forward, if you would be, based on statistics, number, blah, 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 you probably will speak to those people and you will probably seek that people again to surround yourself with the number statistics lovers. probably they're going to be not happy with that description, but you know. So generally, like attracts like. We do want to work with people who are alike.
Yes.
Or complementing us.
Yes.
In some, maybe that's because obviously if, so not obvious, but no, I can't. Well, I do see. Now I'm just mumbling. I'm sorry, dear listeners, but I'm trying to formulate my thoughts. And if you are listening with podcast with Tom, you know that we are allowed to do that.
Yes.
So I'm not feeling guilty anymore, which is good. And my sexy voice going better. So bear with me. If I want someone to take my photographs, which I'm very, very picky, I will choose another photographer who it's kind of similar with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm trying to say here, that even if we need something, even if we need expert in the same field, we will look with someone with similar, maybe not style, because sometimes it's quite cool to see ourselves in the eyes of different people when you're doing the same stuff. It's quite interesting how people can perceive you. And that's exercise which I kind of enjoy sometimes, to letting other people get photos of me and see how I appear, because it's never the same.
Yeah.
But generally, you will work with people who, as you were saying, they're giving the same vibe, and you trust them.
I think you're completely right with everything that you said. I would only add that many people, and that's coming from my understanding of the people I met, the people I worked with, when they are holding themselves back and have very much the shoulds. You should do this. You should be that. You should hire that one. You should be doing this. When they keep that at the forefront, they will not choose the suppliers or clients who are actually resonating with the deepest core values, but who are resonating with what they think they should do.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where often a toxic relationship can happen,
Mm-hmm.
where the supplier, for example, does not deliver what you ask them of, but you think because it's a should, you cannot speak up and tell them, oi, listen, you're getting my money. I want the results I want to have, and not your, oh, I'll do it tomorrow attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And the same goes for the client. When you keep yourself in the shoulds and don't commit to your true core at this moment in time, core values can change over time. So this moment in time, you can be stuck with a client who's super toxic, who treats you like actually scum, and you let it happen because something, and this goes deeper in something like that, someone in the past treated you like this, and your brain thinks like, oh, I recognize this, I'm going to stay here. That comes back to all our brain wants to keep us safe thing, but it is not necessarily a wrong place to operate from. It is not quite there yet. So I agree with all that you said, but there is this conscious mind thingy going on. And man, we know that so well, don't we?
Oh, we do. Disclaimer, we both love our brains.
Yes, we do. I absolutely, utterly love my brain, but sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what would be the process of getting right supplier? Have you ever thought about it, really? Do you think that people really do think about it?
I don't think so, because even we both didn't think about it until we spoke with Tom.
Mm-hmm.
We are lucky that we operate mostly from our intuition, and we do the right choices from there, the choices that are good for us in this moment in time. Yes, our brains get in the way quite often, but still, most of the part, we are good decision makers. But I would say I think it's down to finding out, if you don't know them yet, your core values, or redo the exercise of finding your core values, because you might have done them 20 years ago, but right now you're in a completely different space. You have so much developed, you have built a successful business, or you are on the way to a successful business. You have evolved. And I think if you dig into who you are and find out what drives you and then make decisions based on that, that is where you are in a place where you make much better decisions. So it's, for me, as being the coach, and hopefully I passed my exams NLP practitioner. For me, it's very much down to the core, what's inside you, deep at the deepest point right now.
Sure, I love what you're saying. But I have a feeling that you took people like few more steps to the
I know.
basics.
I know.
And it's just like, yeah, and absolutely right. But actually, when you do start trying to find something, you need basic thing. You need have a need. There's a problem, and you want to solve it.
So how would you do this? How would you approach it?
But basically, no, I'm trying to kind of, and you know that I'm on the mission to simplify my life, and hey ho, that's the mission, the
Yes.
mission.
And you're doing well so far for most of the part.
So far, the most. Yeah, thank you. So, for most of people who are maybe not as we enjoying conversation around deep stuff, because not all people do. I guess the simple mechanism is you need something. You've got some problem, and you need someone who's gonna solve it for you. And now the search starts. If problem is not really big, it doesn't bother you really much, then maybe you're like, oh, I'll think about it tomorrow, Scarlett O'Hara style. But when it starts to be really, kind of annoying, and the great example is from my own experience, professional photography in business. That's a really cool topic because people don't know that they need it. They try and avoid the idea that they need it, and they will really have to be kind of, it's difficult to them to go and be adult about it and just do it. There has to be something really, really, really uncomfortable to make them. But that's probably another whole episode about that. But generally, you've got some problem, I don't know, your pipe burst, you need plumber. And now the whole conquest on trying the right supplier happening. And then depends on your problem and needs. If that is really urgent, you go first come, first serve. They fix it, don't dust it, you paid. Fine. If it's not so urgent, then you do a little bit of research. And then, you try. Some people look at prices, some people look at reviews. Again, there's I think two main styles, emotional and logical style, battling together. But very often people, especially with the creative services or coach as yourself, people don't really get the whole idea that they need to feel good around that person, that they need to exactly match in some emotional level to ask them for help. And I think that's the main thing. I'm not gonna work, and that's me after many years and many mistakes, and probably some mistakes will be done again, but I'm not gonna work with someone if I don't trust them, if I don't see that the work is good, and that I feel safe with them, that I feel connection, that I trust that they will help me to solve my problem.
Yeah.
So right now I'm taking my time and I'm taking my effort, but that's more conscious because I want to spend my money. I want someone who's going to help me. and I want the right person.
Yeah. And that's also a great example. I think I'm picking up on the money thing because there is this weird human behavior that we do not spend money on things. But when the right thing or the right human comes along, all of a sudden, the price doesn't matter anymore as much. Of course, I would love to work with a certain coach, but I don't have 6K at the moment to work with her. But I know exactly, and as soon as I have it, this is one of the first things I do, get in touch with her and say, oi, I need to hire you because you are effing amazing. You are the person I need. But there is a marketing person I worked with beginning of last year. And I checked her out. I checked out her website, and it was a no-brainer to invest the money, although it was a little like, ouch. But there was no doubt that I needed that person. And it was exactly the right thing to do. And it's because of the emotions, because of how she is, who she is. It fitted at that moment in time. It would still fit today. So that's good, I think. But there was absolutely no question about it that I'm going to make this work somehow because I needed to work with that person because I resonated with her.
But again, so what you're describing is exactly that. You're finding someone who you feel, not you feel they're gonna help you, and that's the one. That's our hell yeah. And no matter what, you want to work with them. I had a great experience. I'm sure you do remember. That was like some not long ago when I work a little bit of my Polish side of subconscious, and when I find out, I mean, that was something telling me that I need to work a little bit in Polish because that would be beneficial. And I was attending this women summit, and she was so good. And again, she was very transparent about the pricing, everything. She was so good that the only one thing was like, oh God, I'm gonna, the same what you said with your person, like, oh God, I want to work with you. It's actually making me feel like I really want to give you my money. And the whole process was really, really cool. And I knew she is person to speak to.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you were saying. I had no money for it at the point. The moment when I decide, okay, let's go for it, money, magically, as money do, just show up. And that's the main thing. And that actually reminded me what she said. And that's quite interesting. I'm going to share it here. And I'm sure that she's going to be fine with it as well, because she asked people to share good knowledge. If you decide something and you go for it, money is never a problem. And another thing which she does, and she's really good at it, talk to me. If you feel like you found your supplier, doesn't really matter who this person is, what they do, what you want, ask and have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Because if you ask, there's always the way.
Yeah.
And you may have like a lower package, or you may have whatever they decide.
Or a payment plan. There's always a solution.
Yeah, that's another thing when I've learned that from her. And that's why I really ask people, and I do accept that the no is an answer as well, or no at the moment, or what we can do differently. When you do communicate with people, there's always the way. And I think that's my thing. Just talk to your supplier, talk to someone who you want to work with, or who do you want to work for you, and find out, first of all, the spark you talked about.
Yeah.
And secondly, how you can make it work. And if both sides want to work, there's always the way.
Yeah. And always remember, that there's always a time and place that the universe throws at us. So even if the way offered is not happening right now, it means that both of you, or depending on who's involved, need to go a bit further until it's the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always a reason. I firmly believe there is a
Mhm.
reason behind everything that happens.
Very true. Agree.
Yeah. So even if it can't happen right now because you have something going on, it might be because you're just not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
And you just need to go those 5 miles more, and then you're there.
Mm-hmm. That would be good if we could ask you people reach out to us and send us the best getting supplier story.
Oh, yes, please. That would be fabulous.
Isn't it? Please tell us how you get your suppliers or how you like the good story, like, oh, this one landed on my door and that was the best.
Yes, I stumbled over them.
I bumped into them on the road.
Yeah, that actually happens. So yeah.
Do you have your story? Did you find a good supplier? Like,
Well, I did not
no
drive
yet.
someone over or bumped into them.
No.
No, not yet. So
I'm talking about, you know, general, you're good person to work with story. You've got one.
Actually, I'm not quite aware of a story because I follow the lead.
Uh-huh.
You know, when I see an opportunity or when something is really thrown at my face from the universe, it's like, what? Okay, I follow it. I trust you. I do this now. So for me, it's usually there is something that leads me and I just follow. I grab the opportunities. Sometimes I am resistant, but usually what you resist persists. No, what you persist, resist. You know, that thing.
Yeah.
And so sometimes some things pop up and pop up and pop up until I realize, like, ew, yeah, I should do that now, maybe. And the best example was my immigration. So I was offered a job 3 times, and only at the 3rd time I came to my senses and was like, that is the 3rd time. So there's something as screaming, it's slapping you in the face. Now take it. And that sounded so weird. It well, when the universe is slapping things in your face, take the opportunity.
Or at least consider the option.
And see what's in there for you.
Yeah. Unless you Googled something and then it's showing up everywhere. That's algorithm.
That's cookies. And
that's cookies.
That's
That's not the universe.
Never accept cookies. Never. I only accept what's necessary. I'm baffled by people who constantly accept all cookies. It's like, you know that they are spying on you at all times, and you allow them to do that.
But you know, to be fair, my first full frame camera was bought like that. And you know what? That's all right. Because that was exactly what was happening. That's my ignorance was like up the roof. Like, that's a sign. It's shown in my feed. That's the sign.
Cookies.
That's the sign. I need to buy it. That's the sign. Yeah. Oh well, you know, still I would buy it anyway. So
yeah, check
shows you that actually you as you know exactly what you're gonna do. You're just trying to prove yourself right.
Yeah,
that's your logic. True. That's your logic, or algorithms are trying to do that for you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I really enjoyed that one. I really hope that someone will come back to us. Maybe more than only one person and tell us.
But you know, only one fan is already a good fan.
I know. And we've got a few, actually.
Yes, we have. Thank you so much for listening to us and our exploration of things.
That is very true. Thank you, and till next time.
Until next time. Bye.